welcome you once again to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's a hot, muggy night for baseball at Citizens Bank Park. Hopefully the heat will translate into some Atlanta offense. Runs have been tough to come by for the Braves on the road trip. Hopefully they can knock off David Buchanan and the Phillies in Game 2 of our series. Hi again, friends. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey. Welcome back to the ballpark. Phillies beat Shelby Miller last night. 4-1 was the final score in favor of the Philadelphia Ball Club. But, Joe, a happy return for Atlanta. The Braves built around young pitching. They get Williams Perez back, and that's a sight for sore eyes.
Williams Perez didn't start the season with the Braves, but, boy, did he come up and make an immediate impact. He has been great in the rotation, and were it not for that line drive he took off his left foot in Pittsburgh just over a month ago, he might have been racking up some huge numbers. But this shot off of his instep really waylaid him. He tried to stay in the ball game, but he just couldn't continue. He was all over the place. In fact, he hit Andrew McCutchen with a pitch, and that was pretty much it, as Freddie Gonzalez knew that he couldn't continue. But he's back tonight. He pitched great in his rehabs, and hopefully he continue what he started this year in 8 starts, going 4-0.
And I like that bottom line. He gets 5.2 runs of support. Wouldn't that be nice? The Braves have scored but 10 runs in the first 7 games of this long 3-city road trip. It's a special night in Philadelphia. They welcome Pat Burrell to their Wall of Fame. Let's see if the Braves can hit a few balls over the wall. It's Game 2 of the set. We'll get to lineups and first pitch right after this. And the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park. They have a nice crowd here tonight. You all know the troubles of the Philadelphia Phillies, but a very special night for their franchise. They had their latest inductee to the Wall of Fame announced today, and Phillies, young and old, came out for the ceremony. Steve Carlton, Mike Schmidt, Darren Dalton, John Kruk. And the biggest ovation was that man, the former skipper Charlie Manuel, as tonight Pat Burrell saw his plaque raised on the Wall of Honor out beyond the batter's eye here in Philadelphia. And then, of course, Joe, the motorcade around the field. A man known as Pat the Bat, certainly one of the Phillies' great hitters in their franchise's history.
Third all-time on their home run list with 251. He had some huge hits for this organization during his time here and part of their World Championship team. And he was really appreciative of Charlie Manuel and Pat Gillick, the people who put the team together and what they did to bring another World Championship back to Philadelphia.
Always great to see those kinds of ceremonies, and tonight we and the Braves salute the great career of Pat Burrell. Baseball's moments away from Philadelphia. We'll have it for you after this timeout. We're starting just a few minutes late tonight in Philadelphia because of the ceremonies honoring Pat Burrell. But first pitch ready here in the next moment or so, and hopefully the Braves can even up the series tonight. And here's how Freddie Gonzalez lines up his Academy Sports and Outdoors starting nine. Nick Markakis leads off. Cameron Maybin in center field. Braves are glad he's still in uniform. Freddie Freeman at first. A.J. Brzezinski also not traded at the deadline. He's the cleanup man. Garcia, Peterson, Simmons. And then it's the duo of Uri and Williams-Perez, 8th and 9th, against native of Peachtree City, David Buchanan.
Yeah, I hate it for it to be against a Georgia guy, but the Braves need to score more than 3 runs for the first time on this road trip tonight. You see the first time through the order, that's been a problem for David. He is 1-5 with a 7 ERA in 7 starts so far for Philadelphia. He's been up and down a couple of times between here and AAA. And AAA, he was great, 4-0 there with a 2.68 ERA.
And his first pitch of the night all the way to the backstop, and we're underway. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's the first product of Georgia State University to make it to the big leagues, so he'll always have that mark going for him. 6'3", 200 pounds.
And a line drive to short. And Freddie Galvis is there. A hot shot on a hot night. It's 88 degrees here at first pitch. The Phillies' defense was good last night. Galvis and Hernandez slick fielders up the middle. Franco and Howard on the corners. Cameron Rupp works behind the plate. Ashe, Herrera, and Dominic Brown part of the CPI Security Phillies defense. Here's Cameron. He was 2 for 5 last night. There was a lot of speculation. Would Cameron Maybin be a Brave after the trading deadline? He is. I would think, Joe, that was weighing on him. As this ball is popped up toward Hernandez and Howard, it'll be Cesar Hernandez at second. Cameron 12 for his last 60. He's made no bones about it. He wants to remain a Brave. He's been very comfortable and very productive.
And I'm glad that he is. I'm glad that he's still in the lineup. Do need to get his bat going, as he's only hit 219 on this road trip. Buchanan, as it was described to me, is kind of like an unrefined Aaron Harang. He throws a little bit harder, but he's got to rely on a sinker and a good changeup. Also throws a cutter.
And Freeman hits it past the shift. And a 2-out single for the Braves first baseman, his second hit of the series. And he's aboard in front of A.J. Brzezinski.
The Braves need somebody else to get hot. I mean, it's not like Freddie's tearing it up yet. He's 4 for 24 on the trip. But they've got to have somebody else get hot And tonight it's A.J. Brzezinski batting behind Freddie to give him some protection. And that's because A.J.'s had a good trip. 391.
9 hits and 23 at bats for the Braves catcher. And that one skips up there. 1 ball, no strikes. A.J. another guy I'm glad the Braves didn't trade, but quite frankly I'm very surprised there wasn't more action to try to get A.J. Brzezinski.
Agreed, especially with those numbers.
And that's taken high. 2 balls, no strikes. On this trade deadline day there was lots of action. Some more big names did change places. And we'll break it down for you as the night continues on. That's out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Biggest news out of Philadelphia, the Cole Hamels trade finally went down officially today. Cole Hamels had a 2 o'clock press conference, said his thank yous, and he's on his way down to Texas, where he's expected to start for the Rangers tomorrow against the Giants. And AJ was fooled, fouled it into the dugout. It's 2-2.
The Braves offense, with the scuffles it has had, only 11 runs in their last 8 games. They've gone 1-7 in those 8 games, and next to last in the major leagues in runs scored in July. That's got to get better.
Runner goes, and a swinging bunt, and Rupp with the mask. And that deflected a foul ground, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And maybe getting a reminder from Mark Carlson that you can't use your equipment to catch a baseball.
And I think that's exactly what Freddie Gonzalez said, but the ball was foul already. If Rupp had done that in fair territory, that would have been a 3-base error. And it would have scored a run for the Braves. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And AJ didn't move a muscle as that one buzzed inside. Full count. Runner goes, and AJ off the pitcher's glove, it appeared, and into center field. Freeman around second, and he's on his way to third, and back-to-back 2-out hits for the Braves. And something brewing in the first inning.
Even with 2 outs, Braves will take it. 3 hard hit balls in the inning. One that was caught by Galvis on the line drive from Markakis right at him, and this one right back at Buchanan.
Now, hits weren't a problem for the Braves last night. They had 12 of them. But as you said, they left 12 on base. Let's see if Adonis Garcia can put together a 2-out hit. Foul ball, strike 1. I really loved what you said in the opening comments about the construction of the Braves roster at the moment. There are some unproven guys in the bullpen, unproven guys in the lineup. They're going to have extended looks to impress.
Yeah, you have to figure with the departure of what started off with Uribe and Johnson, and then the pitching staff primarily with the trade to the Dodgers. All of a sudden there's a lot of new faces.
Galvis will shovel to second, and that's the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We will welcome Williams Perez back to a big league mound in a scoreless bottom of the first next. Since the young right-hander took a big league mound, when he's been out there, Joe, he's been outstanding in his first big league year.
11 games, 8 starts, 4-0, outstanding ERA. He did walk a few guys, 38 strikeouts in his 50 innings. But the thing we've all loved about him is his presence on the mound. He is not afraid to be out there, loves the ball in his hand. His sport key is pitching success. How's your change? He's got a great changeup. Hopefully he hasn't lost the feel for that since he's been out. And take a look around, meet your new teammates, say hello, tell them who you are, ask them how they're doing. Look over at third. And I know he's got no idea, but just say, how do you say your name, Adonis or Adonis?
Well, you might have that name tag that they were passing out on the T-shirts in spring training. Hello, my name is.
We got some guys in the bullpen for you, Williams. I know you don't know them, but.
And his first pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes for Cesar Hernandez. Wouldn't worry too much about the foot being an issue for Perez. He was pitching brilliant baseball in his rehab assignments with Gwinnett. 1 earned run in 11 2/3 innings and only 1 walk. Two-0 to Hernandez, and outside 3 balls, no strikes. Phillies are in a great stretch. They've won 10 of 12 after the All-Star game. Same record as the San Francisco Giants since the All-Star break. And they're doing it with a little bit of everything. Excellent pitching. Their offense under Pete McCannon has outscored opponents by 19 runs. And their young players are getting it done.
Yeah, and their offense has come to life. That's the big ticket for them.
Full count pitch for Cesar Hernandez. And there's a shot into center field. Braves haven't gotten him out all year. Hernandez now 12 for 28 against Braves pitching. And that will bring up Odubel Herrera. He hit second on the Phillies Academy Sports lineup. Franco, Howard, and Brown, who hit a homer here last night. Galvis, Ashe, Rupp, and David Buchanan ninth. Phillies have tried Odubel Herrera in several different spots on their lineup card. He's led off. He's hit 5th. Tonight he's hitting 2nd. Pete McCannon has his higher on-base percentage man hitting 1st. That's Hernandez. Herrera with a .306 on base. That's 2nd.
And Hernandez leads him in stolen bases. Got to keep him close.
Bouncing ball into right field. That's a hit. And the Phillies will have men at 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Tried to make that one come back to the inside part, which is what he was trying to do to Hernandez. And both pitches had a little too much of the plate.
Michael Franco is the batter. Franco in the conversation for Rookie of the Year in the National League. He was the June Rookie of the Month in the National League. 11 homers, 38 knocked in. 3rd among rookies in homers, 5th in runs batted in. And that's upstairs, ball 1. Hernandez and Herrera runners at the corners. A healthy cut and fouled away. Franco is a young man that the Phillies organization and their fans have talked about for a long time.
They've had their Michael Franco badges. They've been waiting for him so long. And I use that term long because it seemed like a long time, putting up good numbers at the top of the prospect list for years. And now the opportunity.
2013, this kid hit 31 homers between Clearwater and Reading. 16 home runs last year at Lehigh Valley. Once he figures it out with the short portion left, he might be a 25 to 30 home run hitting third baseman for the Phillies for a long time. Two balls, one strike.
Nothing working yet. Williams having a little trouble here with his release point. That was his changeup, which is his best pitch. That came out funny. So he might be a little over-amped, anxious to get this start going.
And he's got the bases loaded, nobody out, and Braves killer Ryan Howard coming up. 13 pitches, only 6 strikes so far.
That's what's made him effective as a starter, is being able to get ahead in the count early and use that changeup.
This is how you earn Braves killer reputations.
Indeed it is. One for 3 last night.
Line drive right center field. That's going to get down and roll for a while. 2-run score. Here comes Franco around third. He's going to score. It's a bases clearing double for Ryan Howard. 3-0 Phillies.
Tried to get ahead. First pitch, Howard was ready. And another pitch in the middle. And by splitting the gap in right center, an easy tour around the bases for all 3 base runners.
So 7 runs allowed now in the first inning for Perez. And still nobody out for Dominic Brown. 0-1. Brown hit a home run here last night, his first since last September 16th. A span of 46 games. And he's got a hit to center. First and third, still nobody out. That's 4 Philly hits.
Run the ball away. If you're going to do that, it's got to have a little sinking action. That's just flat. It's like a flat slider. Boy, you need a mulligan. It's all about location right now.
And umpire Mark Carlson will make his way to the mound, trying to speed things along. 4 hits, a walk, 3 runs on 16 pitches for Williams Perez, and nobody out. Ryan Howard's 20th double cleared the bases. Now Freddie Galvis bats. He's another tough out for the Braves. He's hitting .447 against Atlanta pitching. That's launched toward left center. Maben drifts over, and he's got it. Howard will tag. He will chug home and score the 4th run on a sacrifice fly. And I guarantee every fan of the Phillies is saying, where's this been the first 2.5 months of the year?
Well, like I said, their offense is what's come together suddenly and why they're winning. And they've been doing it with a lot of extra base hits.
Yeah, 21 extra base hits in their series with the Cubs in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Last night they had 12 hits, only 1 extra base hit. Runner goes, pitch a strike, throw to second is not. Dominic Brown steals his 3rd base.
And I don't think he will let go of any contact with the base now that he's there.
Yeah.
Good crossover step and a good jump. Even a perfect throw would have missed him.
So that eliminates the double play chance. Barring a line drive and a base running blunder. This is Cody Ashe, Phillies left fielder. Might be a place where Williams can go to get an out. Not because Ashe is a poor hitter, but he's had very poor luck against the Braves. He's 2 for 27 against Atlanta this year.
There's that change up. Big motion on it. Good pitch.
And bring up Cameron Rupp. Perez's first strikeout of the night. Rupp at 221, a homer, 7 RBIs. You would think with all the big boppers that the Phillies have and have had in their lineup, they'd be a big home run hitting team. They're not. The Phillies have hit 68 home runs, only 7 more than the Braves this year. Rupp has hit 1. It came on June 23rd. That was the first homer by a Philly catcher all year long.
He's a big burly dude.
And now Atlanta will intentionally walk him and bring up Buchanan, the Phillies pitcher. AJ's trying to steal a strike any way he can get one. So 9 come to the plate for the Phillies. David Buchanan is the hitter. Watch this.
He's coming back to the plate, trying to frame it.
Going outside for Buchanan.
What a treat for him to get some runs to work with early.
And a strike. Buchanan won his last time out July 20th against Tampa Bay. That was his first win in 15 starts. And that covered 348 calendar days between victories for David Buchanan. And he shoots one towards short. Simmons has it. And his throw to first is in time to retire the side. 9 come to the plate. 4 of them touch it. 4-0 Philadelphia. The big blow, Ryan Howard's bases clearing double.
your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
The Phillies strike first in the first, lead 4-0. And time for tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. And the Cold Hard Facts tonight are: the Phillies are surging offensively and the Braves are not.
No, they are not. 60-point difference in average runs per game. Let's just say there's a big difference there, okay? Braves last in all categories in the National League that you see listed.
That's Pete Mackanin, the interim manager for the Phillies. He took over when Ryan Sandberg resigned. Mackanin was supposed to take over for the Phillies just for a handful of games. In fact, the handful of games before they came to Atlanta. But now he'll skipper the club through the end of the year and hope he'll be considered for the full-time job next year.
And I think he will be.
Jace Peterson takes a strike. He'll be followed by Andrelton Simmons and Yuri Perez.
Buchanan faced the Braves back in April 25th. He got beat 5-2. But he pitched into the 7th inning and only gave up 2 hits and 3 of the 5 runs.
He has a big lead tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sharply hit to right, a leadoff single for Peterson. Jace 2 for 5 in the series now, and Andrelton Simmons is coming up.
Watch his front arm here. See how it shoots up. One of the things that they've been working on with him is to get his front arm down. Sometimes he blocks his whole view of home plate when he throws his arm straight up in the air and causes a little bit of a back tilt. So you're trying to get that front arm lowered a little.
One ball, no strikes for Andrelton Simmons. He is 1 for 9 head-to-head against Buchanan. That 1 hit, though, a homer. Slowly hit right side. Hernandez to his left, settled his feet. Productive out for Simmons. Peterson to second, 1 out.
Right off the end of the bat. Pitch going away from him. But at least it moves the runner up. Chance to get one of those runs back right here.
And Yuri Perez, the man that will try to do it. He's knocked in 3 men.
He ripped a rocket last night off of Giles, too. Pinch hitting in the 9th.
Giles picked up his first home save for the Phillies this year. As this one's hit towards short. Galvis will throw a low to first. Howard able to scoop it up. Peterson to third, but now there are 2 outs, and Williams Perez is the batter. Williams has 2 hits in 13 tries and 6 strikeouts as well. Fly ball to right, but Brown was playing shallowly, and he made the catch, and that retires the side. Atlanta got a leadoff hit, couldn't cash it in. 4-0 Phillies in the second. Of the second inning, here's a look at the Braves defense. Perez, Maven, and Markakis left to right. Krasinski behind the plate. Simmons and Peterson up the middle. Garcia and Freddie Freeman are the infield cornermen. Defensive lineup brought to you by CPA. All right, do-over for Perez. What's done is done. Let's see if he can shut him down the rest of the way. 9 came to the plate. Phillies with 4 hits, a couple of walks. And this is the man that got it started, Cesar Hernandez. He launches one to center. Maven, with his back turned to the infield, makes the play for the first out.
Going after a lot of first pitches.
And here again is Odubel Herrera, our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Most doubles among major league rookies. 21. And his third base partner has 17. And Franco didn't even start the season in the big leagues.
It stands to reason, because if you mispronounce his name, you could say Odubel Herrera.
I like that. Maybe that's what they'll change his name to.
He singled and scored for the Phillies in the first. Now Williams ahead 0-2.
He's hot right now because he's hitting .386 his last 3 weeks.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Really won't have to worry about Ben Revere taking over his job in the outfield. That was one of the deals made today. The Phillies sent Ben Revere to the Toronto Blue Jays. And Perez just smoked him with a 1-2 pitch.
On the thigh, that's going to hurt for a while.
So Perez lost Herrera with 2 strikes. He'll stand at first, and here's Franco, who walked to load the bases. We talk about a team that is all in at the trading deadline. The Toronto Blue Jays would have to be that team. They added David Price. They added Ben Revere. They are going for it.
Got Mark Lowe today from the Mariners. Already had Tulowitzki.
Toronto has some work to do. They start play tonight, tied with the Orioles, 6 games back in the American League East. big time showdown tonight with Kansas City. It's 3-2 Royals in the 4th inning. Johnny Cueto is debuting for the Royals tonight at Rogers Center. And now Franco digs in and hits one to center. Maiden drifts back again. He's there. And back to first is Herrera with out number 2. In our division, the New York Mets at long last got the big outfield bat they were looking for. It wasn't Carlos Gomez, it wasn't Jay Bruce, but it was Yoenis Cespedes of the Detroit Tigers, who was a free agent to be without draft pick compensation attached to him. So the Tigers felt like they had to move him to get something for him. And the New York Mets pounced at the last minute and added a big bat to their lineup in the outfield.
They needed it. They'd already added Kelly Johnson. That helped. Kelly was going to play a little outfield, but now it looks like Kelly's just going to be mostly platooning around second base, maybe some third.
That went all the way to the backstop.
Well, he's filled up all the columns.
Yep. Wild pitch. Chases Herrera to second. The Mets are home with Washington tonight. Matt Harvey is pitching against Gio Gonzalez.
He's having trouble to that side. Pulling a fastball over in the left-handed batter's box, trying to get some sinking action, but he's hanging on to it way too long.
Howard rolls over and fouls it away. Even count. The Nationals have a 3-game lead over the Mets in the the National League East. And they don't care if they face Matt Harvey, frankly, or any of the other Mets starters. The Nationals in their last 21 games in New York have won 18 of them.
Yeah, they've owned Citi Field.
And they've thrown 3 shutouts at the Mets on their home ballpark in the last 5 games head to head. So we'll see how that one works out. One ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, good pitch. Didn't make it back to the corner, but it was a good pitch. Had Howard way out on his front foot. Change up. PNC Bank box track shows you it just missed out.
Howard stays alive. It's 2-2. Shelby Miller started for the Braves last night. It was another sticky evening here in Philadelphia, and the first inning really took some steam out from Shelby Miller. Google Herrera had a 10-pitch at bat in the first inning. That really summed up the night. It's fouled at the plate, and a late call, foul ball. Howard wasn't sure. Przinsky wasn't sure. Maybe Carlson wasn't sure either.
When in doubt, make the play. There's that comebacker that came up and hit him in the hand the second time, so that's a dead ball. But why was Ryan ready to run?
Full count. Aaron Harang came off the DL last night and beat the Braves with 5 innings of 1-run ball. It was a 4-1 game last night. Runner goes again, and Howard fouls it away again.
Not sure what Herrera figures to gain here by running. If Howard walks, they've got a chance to throw him out and end the inning.
Another ball 4. Third walk in an inning and 2/3 to go with a hit batsman and 4 Phillies hits.
Yeah, very disappointing start for Williams, given his good work all year long as a starter, and then bouncing back on that rehab work where he only gave up 1 run in 11+ innings with 1 walk and 15 strikeouts.
Bouncing ball by Dominic Brown. Peterson to a sliding stop. And that will retire the side. 14 Phillies batters have come to the plate. 8 have reached. 4 of them have scored. And we're off to the third.
Every day.
Well, let's see if the Braves can get something started here in the third inning. 4-0 Phillies. Nick Markakis leads off the inning, and he's got very good numbers in these situations. You'll see that on the Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
Best in the National League when he leads off an inning at .421. Washington has 2 guys with Yunel Escobar doing such good work for them. He and Span, they're on base a lot.
Nick hit the ball hard, lined out to Freddie Galvis to start the game. He's 2 for 5 in this series and carries a 7-game hitting streak into tonight's play. On a strike. 1-1 your count. Right off his knuckles and out to Cesar Hernandez at second. 1 man down. Well, there was a lot of furious action at the deadline in the final minutes. Maybe the biggest surprise for me, Joe, is that the San Diego Padres did hardly anything at the deadline. A.J. Preller, their GM, did not move Upton, didn't move Kennedy. Cashner didn't move Craig Kimbrell. And the Padres, 8 games out in the West, are going to have to try to make a run with what they got.
Interesting thing to me about that was that there was so much talk about them moving someone. They had a lot of pieces if they were going to change directions.
No balls, 2 strikes to short. Galvis another chance. Cannon gets another ground out. 2 men down. I understand the value of Craig Kimbrell. Braves country knows all about that, but he's under control for a couple of years. 2 schools of thought. Our team's going to keep paying closers $12-13 million. If not, why not keep him? They couldn't find value apparently, although the Padres apparently asked the Diamondbacks if they had interest in Kimbrell. Arizona was linked to Aroldis Chapman. Dave Stewart said tonight that, yeah, they'd have interest in Kimbrel. And A.J. Preller said, sure, we'll take Paul Goldschmidt.
I think maybe you could figure out why they didn't move anybody.
That's a pretty good answer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Goldschmidt making a bid for the MVP in the league. Swing and a miss by Freddie. It's 1-2.
One of the things, unfortunately, for Freddie Freeman coming back in the midst of this run-scoring drought the Braves are in, is that he feels like he's got to carry so much of the load. And Freddie Gonzalez was talking about that after the game, that he was going to have a chat with him to talk about, do what you do. Do what you can do. You can't do it all. But Freddie thinks he can. Freeman.
That's pulled into the shift, and Buchanan 3 more ground ball outs.
With a hidden ball trick with his own play. He would tell me that he faked, looked away, and then watch the reaction that he gets right there, making Freddie Gonzalez go and question the play for instant replay just because of his action. Beautiful to see. Shelby Miller would compliment him after the game for his heads-up play. Umpire calls him out. Huge play. Let me be the voice of reason to you Atlanta Braves fans. If by chance we traded away one of your favorite pitchers or players, there's new guys to fall in love with too, and Andrelton Simmons, in my opinion, is the best defender in the business. And you gotta like watching him every night. You just never know what he's going to do.
Love it, Paulie. You're so right. I agree with you. I think he's the best defender at any position in baseball.
I think that even includes soccer, basketball, a whole lot of other things.
It might.
He's just a blast to watch.
The thing that, and I told him this last night, the thing that I appreciate so much is that he's looking for outs anywhere, anytime, whether it's catching a guy off guard at first base like he did Bryce Harper or getting Dominic Brown last night. He never gives up on a play. You got to love that.
I do, and when I talked with Shelby Miller after the game, obviously frustrated, talked about Simmons, he immediately got a huge smile on his face. And we talked about how he never carries an at-bat into the field. The Braves aren't in first place, obviously, but he's out there. He has the energy. He quarterbacks the field. And again, you never know what he's going to do. Just a blast to watch.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Freddie Galvis. And Perez missed off the plate. It's now 2-2. All right, Paul, you and I talked about this when we worked together during the Cubs series. How many times did your wife have to move your family in your minor league and major league career?
Well, 54 times. I tell people I wasn't good enough to stick with any one team, wasn't bad enough to retire.
So you know all about
the difficulty from a human perspective. Forget the baseball side of it, but just the human being, family man perspective of the trade deadline. You've been traded on at the trade deadline. I'm sure you've been on the bubble and not traded. What's that 24-hour period in limbo like as a big league player?
Well, it's really tough. You got to concentrate on the game and the field, but you know, you're going to tell the media it doesn't matter, but it really does. You walk out there, you have a job to do, but in the back of your mind, you're wondering if each inning's your last or each game is your last. A lot of stress, and the locker room showed that yesterday. Very, very somber mood. Today, a little more upbeat. Guys talking about the new guys coming in, and even Pierzynski, some of the other guys talking about their first big league outing. So you have a lot of, I'll say, I don't want to say negative energy, but a lot of question marks. And then once it's over, you breathe a sigh of relief. You know the guys that you have left for the most part, and you move forward.
Bounced foul past first by Cody Ashe.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you just said, Paul, with regard to you don't let on like it's bothering you. Well, the worst thing you could say is, yeah, it's driving me crazy. I'm nervous. I don't know what's happening. I'm distracted. Because naturally, the writers and everybody else are going to jump all over that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things.
But it's on your mind.
You're right, and there's a lot of things that you can't control, and that can be frustrating. My toughest situation was in 2002 playing for the Royals, and I was getting traded to the Mariners. It was a done deal, and with 5 minutes to go in the deadline, there was mix-up in the paperwork.
A cue shot. Adonis charges and throws a fastball to first to get Ashe 2 out.
And the Mariners didn't want to pay my salary. I wasn't making a whole lot, but the owner didn't want to pay my salary at the last minute, and I was getting ready to pack my bags and shaking hands. And the next thing you know, Allard Baird, our general manager, came over to me and said, "Hey, it didn't go down. You're staying here." So I went around and gave more hugs and said, "I'm finishing the season out with you guys." That's kind of the craziness that goes on. And if you have a family and you're got a lot of moving parts to the season, it can really be tough.
That was
Paul, if it makes you feel any better, Paul, I played for the Mariners for 4 years. They didn't want to pay me either. So,
so you tell me I didn't want to go there?
I'm telling you, I feel like the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Situation like that happened to Jake Diekman, by the way. He was on his way to Dallas to check in with the Rangers, we were told. And because all the paperwork and all the final phrases of the trade hadn't taken place, they actually had to call him at the airport and pull him off the airplane yesterday. And obviously the trade went through today, and officially he made his way to Dallas along with Cole Hamels. So imagine that. You're told you're gone. You're on the plane. Your bags are packed. And they say, "Oh, get on the intercom. Mr. Diekman, please exit the airplane." What in the heck's going on?
Can I get my bags back, please?
Yeah. Inside, 3 balls and a strike.
There used to be a really crazy rule for the August 31st waiver trade deadline, because you cannot be eligible for postseason play with a team unless you're on the roster August 31st. Well, when teams would make some moves on August 31st, there was a rule that I don't know if it was within originally, I think you had to be physically in that city by midnight the 31st, or you had then to be like within your plane had to be, your private plane had to be within radio contact of that city. It was a real nonsensical rule for that player to be eligible come September 1. Well, they've since joined the common sense ticket,
which we are all in favor of.
Yes.
Right.
And once the deal goes down, doesn't matter when you get there.
No.
David Buchanan hits. Runner at first, 2 outs, 4 walks for Perez tonight. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets have jumped in front of the Nationals 1-0. 5th inning. Matt Harvey, Gio Gonzalez. Braves will see the Mets and Nationals quite a bit in the final 2 months. Swinging bunt, rolled foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. In fact, our final homestand of the year will feature 3 with Washington and 3 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Those could be very important games for both of those teams. Who knows? Washington somehow, some way, try to catch the Cardinals for the best record in the league. Right now they have 11 fewer wins than the Redbirds. Simmons at short, charges, throws to first, and just got the pitcher in time. Buchanan thought he beat the Rap at first. He wants the hit. He's getting the baseball. They're going to the fourth inning, I think. It's 4-0 Fighting Phils. And he was clearly out. For our Toyota Tweet of the Week, what's the best trade the Braves have made under John Hart and why? Tweet us at Fox Sports South using hashtag Braves Trades, and your tweet could be read during Braves Live after the ball game. Needless to say, there are a lot of them from which to choose. David Buchanan gets a little extra time as he was the last out in the Phillies half of inning number 3. Another club that's going for it, the Houston Astros. While the Mets couldn't get Carlos Gomez, it was Houston that swooped in and got him and Mike Fiers. Reliable starting pitcher. Gomez can take over in center field for the Astros, who just swept the LA Angels.
I like what they did. I like what the Astros have done and may do some more.
Houston's 2 games ahead of Mike Scioscia's ball club in the AL West. As A.J. Przinsky jumps on the first pitch and golfs one into the right field corner. He's around first. He's going to try for 2. Here's Brown's throw to second. It's going to be late. Throw was on target from Dominic Brown, but A.J. beat the Rap. It's a leadoff double.
17th of the year. Good hustle. Get something started.
And keeping in line with that Toyota Tweet of the Week, they're the moving parts.
30 pitchers used. That's the most in the big leagues, as well as 51 players. And only 4 from last year. That's pretty amazing. The other side of it is 20 roster moves since last Friday.
Oh,
20 since last Friday.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Since the beginning of this road trip.
Adonis Garcia, the batter. He bounced out to end the Braves first. The reason I brought up the Astros was I think if we remember what John Hart talked about and how he was trying to run these parallel paths of staying competitive and rebuilding the system and going about things the Braves way. If you look at where Houston is right now, as I said, 58-45, second most wins in the American League. 3 years ago today, the Houston Astros ended the month of July with 3 wins and 24 losses.
Wow, that's a good month.
The 5th worst monthly record in Major League history. The point is, yeah, there are going to be some difficult days ahead, but if you have a plan, you stick with the plan and do what Houston did, build through the draft, develop your young players, hang on to them, you have a chance to turn things around, and Houston's done it very, very quickly.
And they didn't give up that pitcher, Mark Apple, either. The deals, did they?
No.
For their former first-round pick. I know he hasn't burst on the scene yet, and maybe no one was beating their doors down for him, but they've still got him in their organization, and he might still yet develop into what they thought he was when they got him out of Stanford. And
obviously the side benefit of having some really, really rough years. I think they had 3 100-loss seasons in a row. Asia draft very high in the amateur draft as Buchanan strikes out Garcia for out number 1.
Adonis didn't like it. Let's see why. Mark Carlson did. Fox Tracks and PNC Bank show you it was high.
And so Houston, with their scouting group, got guys like Apple and Correa and George Springer. This ball's hit towards short. Bad hop. Galvis, though, stayed with it. Marvelous play. Off the bat of Jace Peterson. Runner to third, 2 out.
When we talk about shortstops in the National League, rarely does Freddie Galvis's name come up because there are so many good ones in the National League. But this guy has really come on and made himself an important part of this Phillies ball club. Jimmy Rollins gets traded in the offseason. Galvis takes over on a full-time basis, and he can do it over there.
Buchanan's getting the ball on the ground. 7 groundouts tonight. Simmons hit one of them in his first at bat. And a bouncer up the middle. Galvis, 360 spin. He put on a show here in the 4th inning.
Like I said,
two outstanding plays back to back by Freddie Galvis. The range, the pirouette, and a perfect strike to end the Braves' 4th.
On Thursday, August 6th, when Billy Currington comes to Turner Field for a free post-game concert. Get your Summer Forever ticket pack, which includes a ticket to the game, a field pass, and a pair of those cool Braves sunglasses. Visit Braves.com/summerforever today.
Those sunglasses would be perfect for you.
I think so.
Yeah. Cesar Hernandez leads off and bounces one foul. Here we are in the 4th inning. This is the 3rd time he started an inning.
Yeah. It's not a good sign, but no. Williams is still out there and he's plugging away 66 pitches after the 4-run first. He's got to work on getting the ball down a little bit, and tonight's a good night to work on that.
Strike call. When you have a young staff, these are sometimes the efforts you're going to see. We haven't seen one like this from Williams in a starting assignment. He's 4-0. There's a good pitch.
There you go. Things are showing up that we were used to seeing before he got hurt.
There's his 3rd strikeout.
I watched a lot of Phillies batting practice today as Hernandez strikes out here. And Chase Utley was taking batting practice, hitting the ball real well. Seemed to be moving around pretty good, but he's been on the disabled list with some ankle problem. He's had a real tough time of it this year. Before he got hurt, average wise, he was hitting under 200, which to me is impossible when you can swing like he can. But he looks like he's close to being back.
Monday would be just fine with me.
Here's old Double.
Bet you that's how Charlie Manuel says his kid's name. Well, it's great seeing him before the game, and all those Phillies greats on the stage for their Wall of Fame inductions. Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Greg Luzinski, on and on you go. Jim Bunning. The biggest ovation was for Charlie Manuel.
Yeah, this town kind of went into mourning when he was let go. I mean, as critical as they were when he first was hired, and everybody wanted to know who's this country bumpkin, and you know, I can't understand what he's saying when he started talking. That it took him a while to warm up to him, and then all of a sudden they figured out he was a country bumpkin genius when it comes to managing, and won a world championship, and they missed it.
I wonder if there was a well-publicized verbal spat with a local radio host here in town, where I think the radio host was questioning how tough Charlie Manuel was. And Charlie Manuel in the press conference said, "I'm a tough guy. If you want to walk outside, I'll show you how tough I am." And I think that probably won him over with a lot of the blue-collar fans of this team in this town.
You know it did. There's Charlie. He still loves talking hitting. Standing by him by the cage today, he just went on and on about it. And
Garcia played it off his chest and made a nice play.
And one of the guys he talked a lot about was Jeff Francoeur, and the fact that he thought Jeff was going to be a valuable part of this organization for years to come.
Freddie Galvis added a sacrifice fly since that first inning. Williams Perez hasn't given up a hit. The problem is the Braves haven't scored any runs for him.
Yeah, they've left 4 men on base too, and 3 of them have been left at third base.
Runs have been bitterly tough to come by for Atlanta on the road trip. They've scored 10 runs in the first 7 games. 3 or fewer runs in 8 consecutive ball games. And a chop over the plate. Buchanan backpedals off the back slope of the mound and threw a strike to first for out number 1.
Pretty athletic play there.
And here is Williams Perez. So the Braves make the trade with the Dodgers yesterday. That was finalized. Hector Olivera is now a member of the Braves organization. We've got some video to show our fans of what his swing looks like. And John Hart, in our conversation with us yesterday and in all of his press clippings, believes, as does the Atlanta scouting department, Joe, that Olivera has a chance to be an 18 to 25 home run a year guy if he's healthy.
Well, they loved him in the wintertime enough to make a huge monetary offer to sign him, and got outbid by the Dodgers. So they've liked him for a while.
And a strike. I did like what John said. He knows how much pitching the Braves have stockpiled in their system. He feels that Olivera is the first step in adding what he believes will be impact bats to that core CORPS of young talented pitching prospects. Back to the mound again. Buchanan flips to first. Another ground out, and here is the video of former Cuban star Hector Olivera.
.62, about 220. Turns that foot out a little bit like Yunel Escobar used to do. Some opposite field power too. Well, I can't wait to see him in a Braves uniform.
And John Hart said 7 to 10 days while he works his way through a very, very minor hamstring issue. And we could see Olivera with the big league club mid-August and beyond. Nick Markakis is 0 for 2. He's lined out and grounded out. Like all trades, there's risk involved with the acquisition of Olivera. He's 30 years old, and there were reports that he had a slight tear in his elbow. The Dodgers, when they signed him, said the elbow was fine. Markakis couldn't stop the swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Did go. The other side that we talked about also was that he's not coming someplace where he doesn't know anybody. With the recruiting trips that took place with the Braves trying to sign him, and his relationship already developed with Freddie Gonzalez and Carlos Tosca, I think it's going to be a comfortable place for him.
Strike 3. Markakis is down looking. Second strikeout in as many innings for David Buchanan. He's got a 4-0 lead. title for the Braves. Of course, the Atlanta franchise was led by the great Henry Aaron, and Ralph Garr said maybe that helped him have the top batting mark in the National League.
I always tell them he calls me win the bat top because everybody was worried about Henry Aaron, and them guys were throwing me all them fastballs, and so I had a good time. That everything, it looked like everything I did was good that year. So, and like I said, and playing with Henry, you know, and batting ahead of him. So they said they just wanted me to get on base and stuff, and I was able to get on base, and he was able to drive me in. So it's just a wonderful feeling to be able to talk about that and to still enjoy some of that right now.
I don't blame you, Ralph. I'd be enjoying it every day, too. What a year he had.
Ryan Howard bounces one out of play.
You know, the guys talk about, and they always, the humble ones, really give credit to other people like Ralph just did, and having Henry Aaron hit behind him, and rightfully so in most regards. But you still got to put the ball in play. I don't care if you saw nothing but fastballs all year long. You still got to hit it, and you still got to get your hits, and he did.
A career .306 hitter. I bet a lot of people didn't know that.
I did not.
About Ralph Garr. Born in Monroe, Louisiana. Debuted in September 1968 for the Braves. Had the great nickname, the Roadrunner. And was so popular with fans in Atlanta that the Braves at the time negotiated exclusive big league baseball rights with Warner Brothers Cartoons to use animated scenes of the cartoon Roadrunner and Coyote on the scoreboard.
Didn't they, I mean, when he came to bat, didn't they do the beep, beep?
Beep, beep, yep, sure did. Inside to Ryan Howard.
Good pitch. He's been fouling off some good changeups, so they ran a fastball in on him.
Ralph Garr hit .299 in 1973. But the Braves were worried as this one's hit into the shift and through for a hit for Howard. Braves were rumored to be a little worried about his glove, and they had a deal in place with the Phillies. You know who Atlanta almost acquired for Ralph Garr?
No.
Larry Boa.
How about that?
They're glad they didn't trade him, as Howard has a hit. Ralph Garr in 1974 had 149 hits going into the All-Star break. Made the All-Star team, finished with a .353 average, over 200 hits. This ball is crushed deep toward the bullpen and into it. Dominic Brown is homered for the second straight game. Maybe at long last, Dominic Brown is rediscovering the All-Star magic for the Phillies.
I'm going to blame one of our camera operators who last night said, you know, I got a feeling he's going to hit a homer. And he did, and I think he woke him up. So we may have to do something about that. That ball was crushed.
As we told you, Dominic Brown
cut it in half. Sorry.
With 182 plate appearances without a homer. He's homered in 2 straight. And the Phillies are routing the Braves 6-0 in the 5th. Galvis rolls out, 1 man down. Atlanta's bullpen is going to work. Well, if you get Brown going, if Hernandez, Franco, Galvis are for real, if you like Odubel Herrera, Jeff Francoeur, all those youngsters that they got from the Texas Rangers, who may be a year or so away. Maybe this long drought for the Phillies will be a quick one like it was for the Houston Astros. Ashe couldn't stop himself. One man down. No balls, 2 strikes. I beg your pardon for Ashe. And he rips a shot in the right field. Markakis cuts it off. Williams hasn't missed many bats tonight.
Just couldn't get the ball down after a month layoff. Not well, including some rehab stint. For Ashe, a base hit. That's his 14th career hit against the Braves. 14 for 116.
Cameron Rupp is the batter. He's walked twice. It's because the Phillies pitcher was batting behind him. And he just broke his bat. It ends up over the Braves dugout. The baseball ends up in right field. Hope everybody's all right in the stands.
Yeah, I think there was a big guy that stood up and basically kind of swatted the bat down. Here's another changeup up, and while it sawed him off, it was still hittable.
Fans applauding. Looks like everybody's all right.
The guy in that dark shirt stood up and basically became a net.
Hannibal trying to help himself. 2 ground outs tonight. He's got a huge lead. 6-zip. And he's got a hit. Here comes Ashe around third. He'll get the green light. David Buchanan with an RBI single. That's the 5th hit of the inning for the Phils. And that's going to be the end of the line for Williams Perez. So the first real clinker for Williams Perez as a Braves starter. He lasts 4 1/3 innings. 7 runs, 9 hits so far, and men are at the corners, and only 1 out. A new Brave will debut when we come back. Unforgettable moment, and this is the major league debut for young left-hander Matt Marksberry.
In the minors, a couple of different stops, good numbers, 3-1, 274, 43 strikeouts in 46 innings, a sub-200 average. All that adds up to a call-up. Last year in the minors, he was number 8 in the Braves minor league system in strikeouts out of Campbell University and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's his hometown.
And the first big league man he'll face will be Cesar Hernandez. Paul, what a story. Matt Marksberry, the 32nd pitcher to work for the Braves this year.
It really is, Chip, and he said that that bus crash he was involved in 2.5 months ago put everything in perspective for him and changed his life, taught him what was important, and now when he takes the mound every day is a blessing. He's very appreciative. Quite a jump. That happened 2.5 months ago. A month ago, he was still in A-ball, got called up to AAA, jumped over AA, and is here in the bigs now.
And he gives up a hit to the right side off the bat of Cesar Hernandez. Another run is in. It's 8-0 Phillies.
Well, they can't feel bad about giving up a hit to Hernandez. Nobody else has gotten him out. 24th RBI for him.
Four runs on 6 hits for the Phillies in the 5th inning. They scored 4 runs on 4 hits in the first and batted around then. Double Herrera. Fouled it away. Mets still lead the Nationals 1-0 in the 6th. Washington with a 3-game divisional lead. Cardinals over Colorado 2-0. That's in the 3rd. St. Louis made a deal. They added Jonathan Broxton. The bullpens had to work a little more than Mike Matheny would like. There's a strike. It's 0-2.
Nice pitch there. Good curveball.
Line to center. Maben got a good jump and makes a leaping grab. So there's the first out for Mr. Marksberry in the big leagues. Let's check back in with Paul.
There you go, Chip, and I love the glasses. Number 66, he's throwing strikes. But I got to tell you this, when they got the call up, they said that the 3-player deal was not official. He had to wait just a little bit. Made a phone call to his dad, got very choked up. It was an emotional moment for him, and he was very thankful and appreciative to be here. Thankful that the Braves would move him along and give him this chance. Absolutely great story. And I got to say this, he is from Campbell. Don't forget about the P University, the Campbell Camels. And their most famous alumni is Gaylord Perry, who obviously over 300 wins, 3.10 ERA in the big leagues, but he never played for Campbellsville. So I can't figure it out. We'll see what happens.
So it's the Campbell Camels?
That is correct.
Why isn't it the Campbell Camels?
You got to watch those camels. They're nasty. They can spit.
Really?
But I'm intrigued by, the fact that Gaylord Perry did not play for them.
Bouncy ball past Simmons into left field. And the Phillies are going to run themselves into an out. Late stop sign was thrown up. And Hernandez is going to be run down by A.J. Przinsky. Pitcher's covering the plate. Braves don't know who to try to throw to. And all hands are safe. A.J. stood there wondering what to do. It should have been the 3rd out. And scampering back easily to second base was Cesar Hernandez.
He had some choices. When Cesar was 20 feet from third base, he could have given it to Adonis right there. He's saying, give it to me. He waited too long. Not pretty.
No. And now, guess who's coming up with the bases loaded again? Ball one.
Well, I'm sure that if he records a strikeout here, and he certainly could use one, he'll remember who it was.
Yeah. Buchanan, Hernandez, and Franco aboard. It's outside. On Howard's hands, and Ryan fought it off. It's a full count.
91. And while Howard was just sitting on that off-speed stuff, his last at bat, beginning this inning against Williams Perez, you don't know what to look for here.
Ball four. 4 RBI night for Ryan Howard. Rays have issued 5 walks to the Phillies in the game. That brings Buchanan home to make it 9-0. Dominic Brown has already homered in the inning. Vicious cut, fouled straight back. Nine earned runs for Williams Perez over 4 1/3 innings. The inning ought to be over, but Braves botched a rundown play to keep it alive. Howard walked with the bases loaded. Now Dom Brown, an even count.
Try that breaking ball here and get out of the inning. That was the break ball, just overcooked it a little bit. Try it again. The nerves.
2-2. And here she comes. Spots a ball. That's fair. Freeman had it. Late to the bag is the pitcher. Brown safe. A run is in.
I'm not sure, and I won't know for sure until we see the replay, but I think Marksberry could have tagged him. Instead of trying to go for the bag, he could have just stuck his glove over there and tagged him right there. He did not win the race to the bag, or it didn't appear that. The Braves are going to try it anyway.
Braves hoping that Mark Sperry got the tag on the hip before Brown's foot hit the bag. It was ruled a hit and an RBI. Let's see. Ball, glove. Hip.
Oh yeah.
He's out.
He did tag him. Sure did.
So this one's going to be overturned, and that's going to be the end of the 5th inning. So for the moment it's 10-0, but that run's going to come off the board. Right there.
Yeah.
Clearly out. That's the definition of clear and convincing evidence.
Yes, it is. And
the Braves are walking off the field. They know the verdict. It is out, and that is the inning. And that'll retire the side. The Phillies score 5 in the 5th. It's now 9-0 as the call changed. Take away an RBI for Dominic Brown.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the Home Depot. Let's do this. The Georgia Lottery and CPI Security.
Well, let's just move past that graphic. Let's see if the Braves can beat them from the 6th inning on. As David Buchanan's pitching a beauty. The Georgia State alum scattered 4 hits. And he delivers strike 1. Maven's 0 for 2. And lines to Franco at third. He makes a diving grab. That's 4 great defensive plays by the Phillies tonight. One out. Freddie Freeman had a 2-out first inning hit. Again, the Phillies shift. And strike 1.
What's that old Jack Morris line?
Yeah.
Never lost with 10.
Four in the first, 5 in the 5th. All runs allowed by Williams Perez. Freddie straightened up. 2-2. Third strikeout for Mr. Buchanan. 2 down.
They've gotten Freddie a couple of times in this series down and in. I don't know if that was a sinker. I think it was. It was just a fastball. The four-seamer. He may have been trying to beat the ship, go the other way, and a little late getting there.
A.J. Brzezinski is perfect at the plate with a single and a double. His perfect night's going to come to an end as Ryan Howard will take it to the bag. Another perfect inning for Buchanan, this time the 6th. Needed just 10 pitches. 9-0 Phillies. A home with the Phillies. It's been an eventful year for him. And look what happened to Jeff against the Washington Nationals.
A little play off the wall. Oh, I'm going to hold him to a single. Well, maybe a double. I'm going to hold him to a double. Well, Barso, hey, what? He was already laughing right there.
That's the play that Paul Bird called you took your thumb off the ball.
Yes.
But you know what? Jeff's really found a home here, hasn't he?
He's playing great. 200 at bats, 12 doubles, a triple, 9 homers.
Had his first career pinch hit home run here for the Phillies against the Cubs up in Chicago. Gets most of his playing time against lefties, and the Phillies love what he does and what he brings in the clubhouse. And for a team that's going through what they are going through now, you need a guy like that. Popped up left side off the bat of Freddie Galvis. Simmons will make the play, and there's the first out.
That looked like Matt Harrison he's talking to. Just came over from the Rangers. I believe it is.
So 1 out. Braves fans, join us next weekend for Alumni Weekend. The Marlins will be in town. Join us at Turner Field Friday night for autographs from Braves Hall of Famers like John Smoltz, Bobby Cox, and Chipper Jones, who will also be there. Saturday, the first 20,000 fans who attend get a 1995 World Series replica ring. We've got the 6th annual Legends Softball Game 2. So a lot going on as the Braves face the Fighting Fish. Alumni Weekend begins Friday, August 7th. We hope you'll join us at Turner Field. Fly ball by Ashe toward left. And nice grab in the corner by Yuri Perez. 2 down. Joe, all the scouts that have chimed in on the Cole Hamels trade say the Phillies did exceptional well in that deal with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with who they got other than Matt Harrison, but I know they were highly rated.
Outfielder, big-time offensive outfielder, big-time offensive catcher, and 3 pitchers, along with Harrison, who, if he can stay healthy, will be a veteran presence in rotation for the Phillies. They also traded Ben Revere to Toronto today. And as you know, they moved Jonathan Papelbon too. So the changing of the guard is certainly on for the Phillies. Next decisions, what happens with Chase Utley? Almost certainly his contract won't vest. He won't have enough plate appearances. Will he be back? And can the Phillies move Ryan Howard along and use those dollars for other players? At least some of them. That will be the task of Andy McPhail, Ruben Amaro, or another general manager yet to be named by the Phillies. AJ trying to steal a strike.
Any chance that Matt Harrison and Jeff Francoeur played together in the Braves organization way back when? Let's put our crack staff on that.
Mile high pop. Jace Peterson drifts out. Markakis calls him off. And Nick has it. Marksberry has his first 1-2-3 big league inning, and he got 3 outs on 9 pitches. That's a step in the right direction. We'll go to the 7th. From Citizens Bank Park tonight, Andrelton Simmons leads active Atlanta Braves players with 5 home runs at Citizens Bank Park. What visiting player has the most home runs in the Phillies home ballpark?
Oh, I got to be David Wright.
Right?
I'm not going to guess anybody else again, ever again, when it comes to that.
Okay, so Joe's on the board with David Wright. I'm going to think about it for a minute as Buchanan goes to work and starts Garcia with a strike.
You're not going to shoot from the hip. Just let it go. No, you can think about it. I see the steam coming out of your ears already.
That's not steam. It's vapor lock. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's inside the bag fair by Adonis Garcia. He's got an extra base hit. That's the 5th safety of the night for Atlanta, and a good start here in the top of the 7th. Second double for Adonis.
Snaps an 0 for 9, and he got a hanging curveball and raked it right down the line.
Jace Peterson the batter. Pops one foul and out of play. I'm going to say Giancarlo Stanton on the visitors' home runs.
I know McCann hit a bunch here too.
In the air, shallow right. Dom Brown gets there. 1 on, 1 out for Anderton. I think Giancarlo Stanton will be back by the time we get home to face the Marlins. Well, they've had a disappointing year, quite obviously. Their pitching fell apart on them. That was the big question for Miami. Could their pitching stay together until Jose Fernandez came back? And the answer to that was no. Henderson Alvarez shoulder surgery. The Marlins traded Dan Herron to the Cubs today. There's a shot down the left field line. Well hit, but well foul. Strike one.
That was smoked. Almost added another home run to that list.
Hamilton with a .318 average on the road trip. And Buchanan wants a new set of signs. No balls and a strike. Out of play. Some fans thought that the Cubs would go out and get a big name starter, David Price or what have you. They feel that with Lester and Arrieta, they've got very capable 1 or 1A at the top of the rotation. They needed a guy that could stabilize the back of the rotation. They've used 5 different number 5 starters this year. And Dan Herron is durable as they come. They think his sinker ball will be perfect for the final 2 months in Chicago.
Yeah, they kind of made their big deal in the offseason getting Lester.
Yeah. Here's their version of Shelby Miller. No run support. But Lester pitched great against the Braves back in Atlanta. And they're winning tonight of the Cubs 2-1 in the 4th inning at Miller Park in Milwaukee. 0-2 pitch is grounded to the right side. Howard can't get it. Hernandez to the bag where Buchanan is there. Nice play. Runner to third, 2 outs. Been very impressed with the Phillies defense tonight.
Yeah, it's been outstanding. Unfortunately for the Braves, with all the guys they've had at second base and nobody out, they get them over with 2 out. So it requires a hit to get that run in and break the ice.
Smart move by Galvis and Rupp to go to the mound. Let Buchanan catch his breath after that sprint to the first base bag. And now Yuri Perez is the hitter. Mark Sperry is due next, but Johnny Gomes has grabbed a bat. He's in the on deck circle. Foul ball, strike one. I'll bet Paul Bird is out on Fans Alley crushing a cheesesteak right about now. There's a shot to right field, and that spoils the shutout. RBI for Yuri Perez. That brings home Garcia. 4th RBI for the Braves outfielder. It's now 9-1, and Johnny Gomes will hit.
That was a pretty good pitch. Down and away. Wasn't anywhere near the target, but a good pitch. Pitcher's pitch nonetheless, and Yuri raked it.
So Mark Sperry goes an inning and 2/3 of 2-hit, 1-walk, scoreless baseball in his big league debut. And now Johnny Gomes. Another Braves veteran that many thought would be wearing another uniform by tonight. The Phillies concede second base. Perez was dancing around. Howard didn't bother to hold him. And he takes second on defensive indifference. No steal.
Yeah, I figured there were some teams that would come looking for Gomes and or A.J. Pierzynski, and maybe they did. But for these young players, it's nice that they're still here because they're such a positive influence.
A.J. Pierzynski channeling his inner Jerry Tarkanian. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And ripped back foul. 1-2. Washington's threatening in the 8th. 2 on, 2 out, down 1-0 to the Mets. Matt Harvey still out there at 107 pitches for New York. Well, the Mets lost a game in just as awful a fashion as you can lose one yesterday. Their bullpens a little shaky since their 18-inning game that they played against the Cardinals a couple of weeks ago. Harvey's going deep tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Gomes didn't get it. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. All Phillies tonight, game 2.
Out here at Tony Luke's where everybody grabs a cheesesteak, and this is Polish Italian owner Steve Karapinski. When I got out here there was no line, and when I looked at what they gave me it was just a bun. What happened here, Steve?
Well, my meat was so juicy and tasty I couldn't keep up.
Guys scoring a lot of runs for the Phillies. Everybody was happy and they had to come back for more.
That's what it is. They just keep on come back for more because Tony Luke's is the best. #1 in Citizens Bank Park.
That was a great plug for your restaurant. Guys, I tried really hard. Jen Hildreth, you got me. I'll have to try again tomorrow, but I'll tell you what, you may need to save a little bit for me. Sound like a deal?
All right, you got it.
All right, guys, I wish the game was going better. I wish the food services were going better for me out here in the outfield. This is just one of those where we take it on the chin all the way across the board.
Well, you know, Paul, there were times in the Braves broadcast booth when my dad would say at times like this,
if you promise to patronize our sponsors, it's all right to walk the canine.
Well, I was just going to suggest Paul put some mustard on it and eat it anyway.
Yeah, jam sandwich.
My only choice was jalapenos, guys. That's all they had left.
Well, our great crew in the booth, Paul, if you're really hungry, you can come up to the booth. We got cheesesteaks galore up here.
I'm on my way.
We got a Tony Luke's that actually does have meat, and we've got a Jim steak up here. Becky Solomon, our great stage manager, went cheesesteak shopping for us before the game. So we are ready to go as Jake Brigham becomes the third pitcher of the night for Atlanta as we start the Phillies seventh. If you start talking smack about your cheesesteak and you can't back it up, that's grounds for a fight in Philly.
Yes, it is. Well, that's where it came from.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It was over cheesesteaks.
Huh. Swing and a miss. And AJ's going to tag out Buchanan.
Here, tag me right here.
Please. Oh, here we go. Watch this.
Right there.
Thank you. I've never seen that before in my life.
No.
Oh, my goodness. One out. Oh. And Jake Brigham was so psyched up, just threw one to the backstop. One out. And a ground ball foul. And out of play. Well, the guys that have given the Braves trouble in this series have given them trouble again tonight. Hernandez, a couple of hits, a couple of runs. Ryan Howard keeps killing the Braves. 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Dominic Brown, 2 hits, including a 2-run homer. And Brigham just missed.
I got carried away. I went back to last night's scorebook. Last night's score sheet. We're only down 4-1 in that one.
That's a much more optimistic game. We can talk about that if you want.
Well, the reason I went back to it is because Brigham pitched last night with just a third of an inning. Got a ground ball. So he's okay to work tonight, certainly.
9 runs, 11 hits for the Phillies. The only Philly without a hit tonight is Galvis. And Freddie Freeman got a piece of that, played it on the big hop, and won the race to the bag. And look at Hernandez hustling down the line.
Nice play by Freddie on a hot shot right off the heel of the glove. Rough night.
And here's a double Herrera. He singled, scored. Slide out to center twice. He's also been hit by a pitch. Well, the old saying, it's not who you play, but when you play. And the Braves are catching the Phillies at a real bad time. Phillies 10-2 since the break. 2 more with the Braves. And then what figures to be a very emotional series coming up with the Dodgers. Jimmy Rollins will be back in town with Los Angeles. And that's upstairs. Clayton Kershaw is supposed to pitch for the Dodgers tonight, but apparently he's going to be scratched. Bad hip or glute muscle, I think, is the problem. Zach Greinke, though, is going to slide into Kershaw's spot in the rotation.
There were rumors today that the Dodgers might be trying to flip Alex Wood before the deadline. Tigers and Cubs were being discussed. Didn't happen as far as I know.
3-0 count. And there's a strike. That's not to say a trade still couldn't happen, but the process is a lot more complicated. You have to go through the waiver process. And then the strategy of claiming contracts, blocking contracts, pulling players back, all that comes into play. As this ball's popped in front of the Braves dugout, A.J. Pierzynski with a basket grab right at the top of the stairs. Great play. And Brigham has a 1-2-3 home seventh. We head to the eighth. An 8-run Phillies game. As we head to the eighth inning, time for tonight's SunTrust save of the game.
Yeah, it's Phillies defense. Freddie Galvis, great 360 spin to rob Hamilton of a hit. Bad hop right here. He handled that and got Jace Peterson. And a line drive from Maben, speared by Franco. And much to the appreciation, yeah, it looks like the gloves are that big for sure. Much to the appreciation of David Buchanan.
Yeah, it was a laser off of Cameron Maben's bat, but it went unrewarded. So we head to the eighth, top of the order, Nick Markakis, and he's got a base hit to left.
And lead off, being up an inning, gets on base.
Well, at one point, Cameron Maben was hotter than a pistol. Let's see if we can get him going in the late innings. Down 8, Pedro Siriaco will pinch run for Nick Markakis.
Extends Nick's hitting streak to 8 games, too. Easy night for Buchanan, too. Only 87 pitches. Thanks to that defense.
How many times have we said it? Give any pitcher early runs. That is what wonderful luxury. He got 4 in the first inning. The Phillies sent 9 men to the plate. He's trying to win his second consecutive decision after going 15 starts without a win. Just inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Beats the Braves tonight, they'll be dancing in the street of Panthersville.
Yeah. It's out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. Fans will be cursing in their cheese whiz if Buchanan starts walking people with an 8-run lead. Ground ball to second. Maben beats the wrap. Buchanan got the ground ball, but Maben hustling down the line. You love to see that in an 8-run game. 1 on, 1 out.
Again, he just does not take an at-bat off when it comes to hustling down the line. And that primarily was caused by Hernandez, who took his sweet time standing up and backhanding that ball over to Galvis. Way to hustle there, Cameron. 9-1 ball game. He knows the score, but he ran like he didn't know the score.
The Phillies will shift again for Freddie Freeman. Freddie's sitting on 99 career homers. Number 1 came here. Maybe number 100 will come here.
That'd be really cool if that happened.
Cued at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. What do you think about Mike Schmidt at the old ballpark for the Phillies? All the home runs he hit at Veterans Stadium. How many do you think Schmidt would have hit in this place?
A lot. Baczynski too.
It's great to see them both on the field before the game as the Phillies honored Pat Burrell. There's a fly ball deep toward left. Freddie Freeman has hit number 100 here.
Good call, Chip.
An opposite field shot to left. And just like that, the Braves have put 2 on the board against David Buchanan.
It'd be great if the fans threw that one back. It's kind of like the pitches that Williams Perez was throwing earlier tonight, trying to throw that sinker down and away and couldn't get it down.
Well, David Buchanan might break out the Pat Secline "I'm sorry" theme, but he shouldn't. He pitched great.
But kept alive thanks to the good hustle of Cameron Maben and good swing by Freddie.
9-3. Braves continue to hit in the 8th. TNT trivia question. However, let's turn back the clock. September 21st against the great Roy Halladay.
Yeah, does that swing look familiar? Nothing's changed about it. Look how far that ball went.
And look who greeted Freddie Freeman on the bench. Nate McLeod on the left, Peter Moylan on the right. Freeman was red hot. So number 1 and number 100 for Freddie Freeman has come here in Philadelphia. Now the Braves will take aim at Jason DeFreitas in relief of David Buchanan, who pitched a great game tonight. No walks for Buchanan over 7 1/3 innings and 3 runs allowed.
Freitas with a hard sinker in the low 90s and a good slider.
Now a shot by AJ to left. That's going to get down for a single. A 3-hit night. Beg your pardon? Right. Adonis Garcia doubled and scored the first Braves run. That was in the 7th. And that's bounced foul at the plate. Strike 1. Nationals have tied the Mets. They scored a single run in the 8th inning. Mets 1, Nationals 1, bottom of the 8th inning. 1 on, 1 out at Citi Field. Line drive towards center. Odubel Herrera plays that on a hop. That's the 4th hit of the inning for the Braves, and DeFreitas has given up hits to the first 2 he has seen.
Well, 8 in the 8th would be nice.
Yeah. And a win before we head to the doggy days of August would be welcome too. Peterson 1 for 3. 2 on, 1 out. 10 more hits for the Braves tonight. That's rolled to the right side. The peg will be to first. The runners move up. DeFreitas has his first out. It's the second out of the inning. And the hustle by Maben pays dividends. Otherwise, the inning would have been over. And Anderson Simmons is up. Phillies have robbed him of a hit twice tonight.
Which shows you, too, that he's still swinging the bat well. That play Galvis made on him up the middle was very impressive. And the Braves in double digits again in hits.
Anaheim 12 hits last night, all of them singles. 3 extra base hits tonight, 2 doubles and the Freeman homer, the 100th in his big league career. 0-1 your count as we approach 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're in the Atlanta 8th. And Simmons lifts one toward left. That ought to be easy, and it is. Side is retired. Freeman's 2-run homer brings the Braves a little closer. 9-3 Phillies. John Smoltz Hall of Fame bobblehead night. That's August 14th against the Diamondbacks, and it's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. First 20,000 fans through the gates will get a bobblehead featuring John Smoltz. Get your tickets today online at Braves.com. That, by the way, is a great-looking bobblehead.
Yeah, it's even got a little scowl on his face.
Andrew McCurahan's the new Atlanta pitcher. The third of the night for the Braves.
Good inning for Jake Brigham.
I think the fourth pitcher of the night, I beg your pardon.
Got his wedgies on.
That's right. Franco has walked and scored. He's also singled tonight. 9 runs, 11 hits for the Phillies. Wholesale changes for the Braves defensively. This one well in hand for the Phillies. Freddy Gonzalez has gotten some of his regulars out of there. Pedro Siriaco, Yuri Perez in right. Daniel Castro takes over at short. Daniel Garcia's in the game. He's in left field for Atlanta. Hop fly foul. That's tipped and out of play. Games like this are valuable tools for Freddy Gonzalez and his staff. With all of these young players, this is an opportunity for Freddy to operate kind of like a spring training game. See who can play where, give them a chance to show their versatility.
Tell you what will be a lot better, though, are close games, winning games, to find out how people react under pressure.
To short, big hop, and a perfect throw. Franco's retired, 1 man down. Unfortunately tonight, the Toyota key play of the game came very early in the ball game.
Yeah, sinker that didn't sink. Jumped on the first pitch with the bases loaded in the first inning. That cleared him. He eventually came around to score 4-0 in the first.
4 more RBIs for Ryan Howard in his career against the Braves. Fun matchup in New York. Tyler Clippard is now pitching against his former team in a 1-1 game in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss by Howard. That's what Tyler Clippard said when he came over from Oakland. He said, quote, "It's going to be fun trying to chase down my own team in the division." He's got a chance to keep it 1-1.
Yeah, that was not an insignificant addition by the Mets to their bullpen. That will help a lot.
Especially with the suspension of Mejia, right? It's Mejia?
Yeah.
His second PED suspension this year. In 1 calendar year, he's been suspended 242 days.
How dumb do you have to be?
One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I've already been suspended once. There's no way they'd test me again.
Yeah, right? Two and 2. And out of play. When we get to the 9th inning, the 8, 9, and 1 spots are coming up for the Braves. It'll be Perez, Castro, and then Siriaco. 3-2 for Howard.
This is one of those things that I like seeing and watching, is how left-handed pitchers come in and try to get tough left-handed hitters out.
I think that's something the Braves will be looking for this year and going into spring training next year. Somebody who can neutralize the lefties as a left-hand pitcher. Luis Avilan did a good job of that at times, but his splits clearly showed he was more effective against right-handers. And in this division, guys like Bryce Harper, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley when healthy. Times when you need that very, very good left-handed reliever. Ground ball right into the shift. And Howard is out number 2. Game 3 of the series comes your way tomorrow night. 2 very exciting young pitchers will square off. Don't forget to join us at 6:30 Eastern Time for Braves Live. Joe and I will join you at the top of the hour for first pitch. Matt Whistler against Aaron Nola.
Yeah, that'll be great to watch. Whistler's been terrific since he's been called up. Of course, added to the Braves roster, or to their organization, in the deal with the Padres. He's been outstanding. And Aaron Nola, a recent first-round pick by the Phillies.
Bounding ball up the middle, and an easy peg retires the side. McKirahan, a nice job in relief. Off we go to the 9th inning. Last chance for the Braves. Baseball at bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. 9th inning, this answer trivia brought to you by AT&T Uverse. Simmons and Freeman now lead active Braves players with 5 homers at Citizens Bank Park. What visiting player has the most?
I'm gonna shift gears. I'm gonna get away from David Wright. I'm gonna go with Brian McCann.
Brian McCann. I'm gonna stay with Giancarlo Stanton. If it's David Wright, you're gonna yell really loud. It's David Wright who's hit 19 homers. What's wrong with you?
I'll tell you in just a few minutes.
Adalia Hinojosa is on the pitch for the Titans. Once the deal with the Rangers was announced, Hinojosa was brought up.
Just a bit short. He's so fresh, he's not even in their notes.
I didn't find him in their book either.
Number 94.
There you go.
Right-handed. Got a pretty good arm on him. Likes to work out of the stretch.
Bouncy ball to third. Franco's got it. One out. Trying to find Hinojosa's bio is a lost cause. But as I was flipping through, I found a name that might be familiar. Phillies have a young pitcher by the name of Brandon Charles Liebrandt in their system, the son of former Brave Charlie Liebrandt.
That's great.
6th round pick last year out of Florida State.
Yeah.
Went 3-5 in 12 games, 10 starts.
Well, I hope Charlie's listening, because Philadelphia is really an important landmark part of Charlie's career. Was in Philadelphia at the old ballpark. Struck out his 1,000th batter in his career over at the old ballpark. Remember, they had turf.
Yeah.
Got the ball back after the strikeout. There was a runner on base. Got the ball back and wanted to keep it through the ball in the dugout. He just forgot to call time before he did.
Oh, no. Did he really?
Yes. Oh, Charlie's listening. It was a great night.
Yeah.
He's pitching a whale of a game, but
was it like herding cats trying to find that ball and get back in play?
There's a little scramble going on.
Yeah. Hope we'll see Charlie at the alumni weekend at the ballpark. Great man, great Brave, terrific career. And I know he's proud of his son. I believe goes by Brandon.
And Charlie has volunteered a lot of his time to help at the Marist baseball program too. I believe I have that right. I think it's Marist. I know he was heavily involved. They couldn't have anyone better.
That's pulled foul by Daniel Castro. And it's 1-2.
Let's take a look at our PNC Bank box tracks. Fans thought it was a strike. They were wrong. 96.
That's into the upper tank foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off they go. Bottom of the 9th inning in New York. Washington 1, Mets 1. I'd kind of like to see Jonathan Papelbon come up and blow it.
That'd be fun.
Phillies fans would feel the same way. There's a drive down the left field line, but well foul.
Well, we got a piece of that. Quick inside. This guy's throwing hard too.
Popped up. Howard gives chase. And he's got room right in front of the dugout steps. 2 out. Country superstar and Georgia native Billy Currington performs after the game on Thursday, August 6th. Free post-game concert brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field and backstage passes are now available. Get them online at Braves.com. Pedro Siriaco will try to keep the game alive. Foul at the plate. Phillies are about to win their 11th game in 13 tries after the break. It'll be their 40th victory this season.
And I believe gives them their first winning month since last season.
Last August, yeah. They'll be 13-12 at the end of July. Tonight, Williams Perez just didn't have it in the early innings, and the Phillies made him pay dearly. They scored 4, and Atlanta struggling so mightily to put runs on the board. 4 was too big a deficit to overcome.
I'll give Pedro Siriaco credit. He's played well for the Braves when he's had opportunities. 261 average, 7 doubles, a triple. No walks. He goes up there hacking. 88 at bats. And 8 for 23 as a pinch hitter.
Bench has been much improved from an offensive standpoint for the Braves this year. And Pedro a big part of it. And he launches this one to center. Herrera going back. He's still going back. He's at the track. He leaps up and makes the grab. Siriaco flies to deep center. And the Phillies have beaten the Braves again. Tonight's final 9-3. Big night for Ryan Howard. 4 RBIs. Dominic Brown homers for the second consecutive game in 2 big innings. The death blows for the Braves. 4 allowed in the first, 5 in the fifth. And the Phillies are now 11-2 since the break. There's your final. We'll recap it for you from Citizens Bank right after this.